got it.
Scrubs probably was one of the worst shows I've ever even thought of watching. House, I just felt smart watching it.
House was, they were around the same time. House was alright. It was alright. It's just, I don't like those.
Oh, right. The guy was a goddamn genius. He could fucking figure everything out. It was awesome.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Let's go.
Live,
Cold
yeah.
open, bitch tits.
It's 8 o'clock.
You know, it was a really good show. Prison Break.
First season was fucking good. Second season fell off the rails.
Tell me if you've heard this before. We once did a favorite show episode, and Ray said that one of the greatest show of all time, literally said the greatest show of all time was Prison Break. Number one.
I never said that.
Number one on his big board.
He said it was in his
You
quay.
put that in. You put that in there.
Yeah.
I didn't. You
all
did.
the reruns are in his quay.
I've never seen that show.
Fucking idiot.
Never?
No.
Season one's pretty good.
Season one is pretty good. It was only supposed to be a mini series, and then after season one, they didn't know what to fucking do. And they had all
Let me
these
guess.
extra-
They got put in prison, but they weren't supposed to be there. So they're like, we got to get out of here.
They were on the run, then they went back to prison, and they had to get back out of prison. It was fucking dumb.
They purposely went
How many
back in.
times did they break out of prison in the show?
Too many fucking times.
How many
Too many
seasons?
times. They should have been called prison breaks because there were so many prison breaks.
Oh, really good one there, Ray.
Thank you.
Well, this is Semi Sports Show. What do you say we start the show, boys? As we always do, with some opening takes. We've got blind opening takes today. I'm going to go last because I haven't decided what I'm going to talk about. It's always difficult for me. You guys know I like my email. I like to run down the rundown, stay on track. And you assholes never tell me what you want to talk about in your opening. So throws me off a little bit. So I'm going to go last here and pivot off of whatever comes out of your dumb mouths. Ray, why don't you kick us off with your opening take, please?
Well, since I know what Bobby's going to talk about, I'll go with the opposite. And before you start yelling at me, please hold. Thank you. Kristaps Porzingis got hurt the other night, and all of the Boston held their breath, but not me, because the one guy that would be the big thing to not win the championship would be Derek White. Derek White is playing out of his mind. Fucking love Derek White right now. He is the lone star that you do not want to get injured other than the Jays, but Derek White is having a hell of a fucking postseason. I'm all here for it. Sucks Porzingis won't be back to the finals, but let's just get there so we can win Banner 18 and piss Rich off.
Why would it piss me off? Also,
you hate Banner 18.
It is stupid saying Banner 18. It's also stupid saying the Jays.
The Patriots still have the Jays.
I don't know if I got a haircut. Ray, try holding your breath right now. I knew it.
What?
I was just gonna see. If we
That's
can
how
make
long you
out.
can hold your breath. Come
That's
on,
it.
no.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I didn't do it when Porzingis got hurt.
Oh, I get it. A fat joke.
He'd end up passing out. That's
Do
what
you
I was
have
going.
poor lung capacity.
No, I can go down to your mother for hours. Ask her.
Speaking of asking her, Bobby, your opening take.
What the? All right, the Patriots told us what they were. Elliot Wolf did draft and develop team. We are now the Green Bay Packers. This was a Green Bay Packer draft. I said what they were going to do. You're going to get Drake May, no wide receiver trade, and a developmental tackle. Check, check, check. This is the team they'll be going to the season with. Maybe they'll sign some free agents or whatnot, but they're going to go into this team. They're going to play the kids. They're going to see what they have. And then next year, we'll see how they feel about if they're actually going to make moves. But I would not expect any big, any more big moves. No wide receiver trade coming.
On this show, Bobby, we call that toot toot. When you're right, you go ahead, toot your own horn.
There you go.
Toot toot. Yeah, my preseason draft talk was a lot of projecting on, I think, wishes and hopes in the back of my mind, knowing that you were probably going to be right and they were just going to do the stupid, dumb things, which, we'll get into it. Certainly we'll be talking Patriots draft. First time we've had a chance to talk about it on the show post the NFL draft. So how dumb was it? We'll talk about it. I guess my opening take, I'll shift over to the Bruins and hockey, and these boys they love themselves a 3-1 lead, don't they? Another 3-1 game 6 loss in the books. As we are recording this now, I got to get the game on here. So the screen, they're playing game 6. Sorry, game 5 they lost. Game 6 now going on. That's in my head. They hate closing out series in game 5, I guess. They love destroying the hearts, hopes, and dreams of Leafs fans in game 7s. So you might want to look forward to that Boston Bruins fans. But it's the same old, same old. You can never feel confident in this team. I don't know why you would. The expectations for this team were much lower than they have been in years past. They overachieved in the regular season, which they tend to do all the time. And when you get to the postseason, your best players kind of shrivel up, shrink, like Ray in 8th grade. They're not there when you need them. I'm speaking specifically David Pastrnak, not quite as much to Marchand, who had a couple terrific games, but McAvoy, a little bit there. So very predictable series from the Bruins. We'll talk more about that, see if they can close the door on the Leafs tonight as well. Additionally, we'll be talking about the Celtics moving on against the Heat. We want Boston. We want Boston. No, you don't, you fucks. I hope they go and drown in the Atlantic with the rest of their city. I hope to not see the Heat ever again, or at least for a very long time. I hate them. I hate that team. I hate that city. Weaponizing the Wolf Pack. Just came up with that today. Elliot Wolf and his pack of fucking nerds. Pretty good.
2-2, Rich. That was good. That was good,
Thanks.
Rich. You're welcome.
What comes to mind is a hangover. Good scene.
The wolf pack. I was a one-man wolf pack, and now there was another man in my wolf pack.
Thank you, Bobby. Someone came to play today.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had to quote the movie. I apologize. My fault.
Yeah, we'll always have
Don't
to
be so
quote
fucking crabby, Ray.
I'm not
so
crabby. I apologize. I'm apologizing.
So I hate your auto zoom on your.
Me too. I don't know how to
camera.
fix it either. I don't know how to fix it.
Ridiculous. Every fucking show you're in and out
Well,
of zoom.
you gave fucking Bill a brand new
Fine,
microphone.
I will find you a fucking hard R-proof camera to put in front of you. It'll be probably pink. So, like, I'll trade the one my daughter uses for you, okay? Send that one up.
No. I never said I'm trading. Just send me
whatever.
hers.
Weaponizing the Wolf Pack. Drake maybe talking about the NFL draft for the Patriots. Blow me Bruins. Just again, I stayed up for that fucking game. I was exhausted the next day. Blow me Bruins. You choked again on a big one. This or that with Chief Bobby. A secret this or that with Chief Bobby. We don't know what's coming.
I like the secret ones.
these. Yeah, I like these.
Your ones are good.
Your mother deals with that all the time.
And simplest minds of the week. This is the Simple Minds Sports Show, Friday Rewind, May 3rd, live Thursday, May 2nd. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome, particularly Dapper today. Bobby, nice fat head in the top corner there. Is that a new room?
Always is.
Nice.
In
Looks
my
good.
palatial estate.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Ray?
What's up?
Feel like you maybe went the other way in this weight loss journey
No,
from
I have
last
not.
week?
No, it's actually, I saw him before the hat. The hat makes him look fat.
I see. It's the hat. Maybe you last week you were a little bit.
See,
more
look, he looks
closely-
less fat, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's a fat hat.
Yeah, well,
Definitely
it's like this big brim out here, so it makes his head look
Yeah.
bigger.
Oh man, and lucky for you, Ray. Thank God for those cans, those headphones, because those ears, woo,
They've been getting bigger.
they are fucking dumb.
My mom has big. Yeah, I know. My mom has big ears.
What?
We're all very familiar with
Yeah,
the
we're very
anatomy of
familiar with your
mother.
mom's ears. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. Okay, if you're listening on your preferred podcast platform, tell your friends, as always, tell your mothers. You wanted Boston, Miami. You got them. Celtics move on to the second round. I'll give you my synopsis of this series. Very physical series. Celtics weren't going to be able to show us much against an inferior opponent like Miami, but because of the history between the two teams, because of the way Miami played, in the way that apparently the NBA has flipped the switch and allowed them to play on defense specifically, I'm talking about the physicality and the way that they're just swallowing their whistles compared to 4 months ago, it seems like. I think it will benefit the Celtics moving forward. I'm hesitant to say this because we've been so hard on them, rightfully so, for lacking the mental fortitude to bounce back after getting punched in the mouth, or dare I say punch first. And it feels like after that game 2 predictable collapse, I don't want to say flip a switch because I don't want to give them too much credit against a bad team, but they just turned it up and never kind of let go. basically, from the jump on the rest of the 3 games. So I don't know how much you can learn, and we'll save the Porzingis thing for a little bit later, but just focus on that Heat series. Anything that stood out to you, Raymond, beyond the physical play, or if you want to talk more about that.
They game 2, they shot lights out. Miami Heat, that is, from the perimeter, and Joey Maz didn't want to change up his perimeter defense, so basically he was just keeps telling them to dare him to shoot. I don't think you're gonna be doing that in later rounds, but that's what it seemed like. It just nothing changed. Like the perimeter defense stayed the same, pretty much. Like they were just allowing them to shoot, even though they killed them in game 2 and shot 43% from 3 or something stupid like that.
50.
Set a franchise.
50.
Was it 50? It was 53.
Yeah.
Setting a franchise record. So shit like that. I mean, Joey Magic is like, this is my game plan, and I'm not veering off of that. I think in later rounds it's going to bite him in the ass.
So I'll let you go here, Bobby, but I've been thinking about this, and I didn't put it. So a couple blogs on SuperMindSports.com today, if you want to go look at those, Patriots Celtics related. And then the Celtics blog, I had a line in there, and I didn't. I'll tell you what it really came down to. I got lazy and didn't want to write another paragraph about another subject. But what I was going to say is I hear a little bit of that rhetoric talking about next series and what you're able to do this series. Get that out of your head. Next series is completely different. And again, I'm very hesitant to do this, but dare we say we give a little credit to Joe Mazzulla, Bobby? I saw adjustments. I saw switches. I saw them doing different things. And I think you have to give a little bit of credit to him. I think ultimately the talent went out. Your best 5, 6, Peyton Pritchard, 7, Hauser, 8. Your best, you were just fucking better. But, I saw enough to think that maybe you give him credit for that. But the greater point is next series will be completely different. And I don't expect them to play it the same way. That would be silly. So, I don't think they're going to get burnt by the way they play defense against the Heat, because I don't think they'll play defense against the Magic or the Cavs the way they play defense against the Heat.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he doesn't veer off his game plan. Whatever it is, he sticks to it. Even if he's going to get burned by it, he doesn't care. And he doesn't go off script. He just goes by script. And that's
I don't think, but I'll just push back on that, and Bobby, you can go. They, on multiple occasions, you saw changes in defense. They were fighting over screens against Hero, where in game 2 they were playing job coverage. They switched into some zone coverage. Like they made adjustments. I do agree with you that there's a stubbornness to Joe Mazzulla. We've been on him about for a long time. And the nerds went out most often. I wouldn't expect to see that next series. I guess what I'm saying.
That's fair. Yeah, I would say, I mean, what Joe Mazzulla said he was going to do against if a team they start scoring more, he's like, well, instead of we're not going to change our defense, we're just going to increase our offensive efficiency, and that's also part of what they did. They played better. There was no, you could look at it from the opposite end. The one game with adversity, they lost. So there is still that to be there. If the Celtics are their front runners, when they get in front, they'll win. And you're right. They did play some different defense, and I do agree, it did feel different. Maybe he does deserve a little credit. I'm not going to be the guy that gives it to him. I think the Knicks are going to be just a better version of the team that they just played. They just have a few better players. They're out. Randall, Porzingis is out, which we'll get into. But yeah, I mean, that feels like a 6-game series to me.
Yeah, they wouldn't see the Knicks until the conference finals, but if they do, I agree with you. I don't give Joe Mazzulla credit for the way that they looked and the way that they felt. I felt like there was a mental look, the Heat mucked up that series. They were playing 2001 Patriots defense. They can't call a foul on every single play, so we're going to foul them on every single play. And they were. And I don't think we're ones to bitch about the refereeing here, but they were mugging the Celtics. I mean, every single
Dwight Bosch fucking threw Al Horford right to the ground, like moving through the screen, and nothing.
And they let him. And you could see there was some NBA stuff going on there. They were trying to tighten up that series a little bit with the calls. We know that happens. Not to make excuses for the Celtics, but we know that happens in NBA officiating. So all that's to say, the Celtics never lost their poise. They seem to gain poise as they continue to execute and gain confidence. And then there was a mental, there was almost an anger or aggression, or just like, these fuck you guys, we're just going to execute the shit out of this and end you because you can't stop us. And I've not seen that from this team consistently in a row when teams pushed them as hard as the Heat pushed them in that series. And game 2, yes, they got slapped around. There was like 23 open 3-pointers for the Heat, like 6 feet of distances. That's how it's defined. 23 of them. They just didn't play. Celtics didn't play defense in that game. Game 3, they locked the fuck up. And then from then on out, every game they won, they had a 27-point lead or more. And the Heat never really made a big enough push to cut into those. So there's pure dominance. So they haven't passed the test of late game execution yet. That is still going to be something they need to see. But I think they passed the test of meeting adversity, being pushed physically and mentally, and they passed that test, I think, with flying colors against a team with basically no talent. But
You know what was nice to see? Last year when Tatum went down with that injury, obviously everyone held their breath, and it seemed like the whole squad gave up. Tatum this game, closed out game 5, he was not really there. He was not even the main player of that game. It was Jaylen Brown. So it was nice to see that the guys, even though Tatum, our superstar, was struggling, the other guys just said, fuck it, we're just going to put it on our back and we're just going to keep going. And they did.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say Tatum struggled in game 5. I just think he recognized that they didn't need him, and he downshifted.
Which was nice. I mean, and give the load to everyone else, and they took it.
Yeah, I mean, game 5, I would call him LeBron.
No mother joke there? There was no mother joke there? That was a perfect layup.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you. Rarely do I. Game 4, I think, was the Tatum game. That first half, he was diamond, he was rebounding, he was playing defense, he was hitting big time shots. If you remember this shot, it was, I mean, they were up big, but it was kind of a nail in the coffin. The Heat were trying to make a move, and Tatum, it was a one-on-one play, but he just put his shoulder into Caleb Martin at the 3-point line, stepped back and buried it, and it was like, okay, I'm done. And then he basically downshifted for the next game and a half, and they won by 40 anyway. Yeah. No, you didn't have to be there. I love Jaylen Brown's aggressiveness. I think this type of NBA fits Jaylen Brown's game, where he can just be super aggressive going to the hoop and play through contact. But the man of the hour is your guy, Ray. You said it, I don't know, months ago. Must have been Derek White.
2-2.
That's the guy who wanted the ball. 38 points in game 4, 25 in game 5. Game 4, he was, unconscious.
He is him. Is what the kids would say. Yeah.
And again, I just think you subtract Marcus Smart and that fake bravado bullshit that kind of hollowed out the rest of his team, and you replace it with more emphasis on Derek White and Drew Holiday, who is the silent captain of this team that just feels like the silent anchored captain of poise for this team. And I think you see the difference. And I honestly think that made a big difference in what I just talked about in the way they looked against the team that was kind of bullying them around. Like if Marcus Smart was in that series,
who's this guy you speak of?
The heart and soul of the Boston Celtics.
Oh, the guy that everyone said we're going to be missing by February, and look at us now. Oh,
if he was in that Heat series, Bobby, he would have been in the 6th fucking row a dozen times, arms flailing, and then getting in someone's face. Technicals.
Do you think that they would have given up the most 3-pointers in NBA history if Marcus Smart, reigning defensive MVP, was on the floor? No, we wouldn't have.
Of course not. No, of course not. Do you think Derek White would have went to 38 points in a game Marcus Smart's on the court? No, because
he would have been taking Derek White.
Like, well, I gotta go with mine, man. I gotta go.
Whoa. Yeah, come on.
That move is what got Brad Stevens Executive of the Year.
Yeah, congrats to Brad Stevens.
That move alone right there.
Yeah, 2-2. We called that 4 years ago too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Porzingis injury, a right soleus. I've heard this pronounced, I don't know, 40 times this week. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it.
You still can't do it.
No. Calf strain.
Thank you.
Similar to Giannis.
What, 3 months left in it?
What's that?
I said that Achilles has what, 3 months left in it?
Maybe, yeah.
Olympics. He'll blow it in the Paris Olympics this year.
Yeah, exactly. He'll go down for Latvia.
Yeah.
Thank God. If he played,
I hope he does. Win a championship and then fucking go to the Olympics and tear it there.
Well, it's a similar injury to Giannis, who's been out 3 weeks and just now started to jog. However, reports are he was at that game last night without a boot, walking around fine. when it first happened, you were like, "Oh, he blew his Achilles." Like that, just
Oh, the way
the way
was
he
hobbled around.
reacted, the way that it looked, is like shit. And then immediately he tweets out, "I'm good. Nice win. Blah blah blah." The team can never trust the Celtics, but they're optimistic now. No walking boot. They're saying he's out this next series with expectation of being available for the conference finals, which in my mind says he'll probably be available for the finals because they're too optimistic about it, which I'm fine with. Like,
Oh yeah,
this is
absolutely.
the same roster they should have went to the finals with last year without Porzingis. There's no reason why they can't do it again. And the only time I think you would need him really is against a Denver or potentially a Minnesota with the way they're playing right now. But we can talk about the West if you want a little bit. Just your general thoughts on Porzingis and the injury, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, this was, I think, our number one concern that would derail the Celtics. It's happened. It's the most mild thing as possible. They need him. They can get to the finals without him. They need him to win the finals because those other teams in the West are a little bit more complete. They can throw some different things at than these Eastern teams can, and he's just what would put them over the top.
I don't disagree. I'll tell you where I think they'll miss him that a lot of people aren't giving credit for is the interior defense and being a rim presence there. He's not going to match up. Jokic eats him up for lunch.
Jokic is everyone up on our team.
Embiid would eat anybody that has a big body, low post presence. Post game, even they eat him up. That's an Al Horford matchup. But off ball defense, Rob Williams style, the way that he patrols that paint, and then obviously when they're clicking, the offense runs through. Yeah. So. Yeah. Are you going to need him against the Cavs or the Magic? Nah. I don't think so. Are you going to need him against the Knicks or the Sixers? I don't think so. So, well, it's optimistic right now that he'll be back for that when we do believe that he'll need him. Sorry. Looking ahead, Cavs or Magic? Raymond? Do you have an opinion on who you would want or who is the better matchup?
I think it's going to be Cleveland. Is
this a prediction or is this who you think would be better matchup?
Oh, I think Magic would be a better matchup, but I think it's going to be Cleveland in the long run. I think Cleveland would be the better matchup for the Celtics anyways, because if you don't have Porzingis out there and you just have an old man Al Horford and you have to go small, I think Cleveland would be a nice little matchup for you.
Did you just say I think Magic will be a better matchup? I think Cleveland will win. Also, I think Cleveland will be the better matchup.
Yep.
He did, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was following that correctly.
Sorry.
Hey, why not?
Hey, why not? Hey, give me both.
Stellar analysis.
Does it really matter though? Like whoever you play, it doesn't. Matter.
At the end of your analysis is kind of correct because it doesn't really matter. You can argue it both ways, and your brain was doing that. It's just like very Raymondy did it. Like
the fucking really mouse in there. I'm sorry.
Either matchup would be okay because this or this, but instead you said the Magic are a better matchup. The Cleveland will win, and also the Cleveland are a better matchup.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Here, new take. They both fucking suck. Doesn't matter. See you in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's pretty close to the bone. Yeah. Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Cavs go through. I think the Magic would be a better matchup just because they're a worse team.
I don't like if you're talking about anything that scares you, I don't like the possibility of Donovan Mitchell and Garland getting hot.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, especially we're talking about a team that isn't good in adversity at the end of the game, and Donovan Mitchell's good at that.
God, I fucking love Donovan Mitchell.
But that happened with the Heat, though. They got hot one game, and then that was fine. So if it happens,
Donovan Mitchell and Garland are quite a bit better than Tyler Hero and name me another player other than Bam Adebayo on that team. Yaquez, who can't shoot. Nobody. Caleb Martin
was there last night.
Caleb Martin shoots going down. He kicks his feet out so he doesn't hit the ground before he shoots. Did you see that guy fucking shoot the ball?
Duncan Robinson
barely played. $19 million to sit in the bench.
Apparently, his game is not good enough for the Celtics or whatever. The play against
I think the word you're looking for is what?
What?
It's quite
White.
It's quite white.
It's white. Oh, gotcha.
He's no Sammy Hauser. He's no Sammy Buckets.
No,
is there any time Sam Hauser shoots the ball where you think it's not going in?
No. Every time he touches that ball and releases it, it's going in.
Anytime a white guy shoots, I assume it's going to enter the net.
You have to, yeah.
Well, from behind
why else would he be on the floor? That's his job.
I think if you asked Sam Hauser to do just an ounce more than what he's doing right now, he would fail miserably. But in his job and in his position for this team, it's like, oh, fuck yeah. Give him that ball in the rotation. Let him launch. And Peyton Pritchard's
I
awesome.
run from corner to corner. I do nothing else.
He was
And
just pissing
stand
off
in the
Tyler
prone
Hero.
position.
Pissing off Tyler Hero. It was fucking beautiful.
He's got a little fucking chip on his shoulder, a little attitude to him, a little pissant.
Love it.
I like
love it. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of respect for him after the series.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll wrap up the Celtics talk there. Just quickly around the NBA. Thunder sweep the Pelicans. No real surprise there. Thunder have the second highest chance to make it to the NBA Finals behind just your Boston Celtics. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Celtics have a 62% chance to make it to the Finals, and Thunder are like 37, and then everybody else.
Second best team in the league. I mean, why wouldn't you expect that?
Yeah, which says more about the Celtics if they blow this, massive underachievement failure. Mavs and Clippers is your closest series, probably. 3-2 lead there for Dallas. The Timberwolves sweep the Suns in one of the most epic,
awesome
failures. The Suns have one draft pick from now until 2031.
Yep. Isn't it a second rounder? It's a second rounder too, right?
And that might be right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They were swept.
They're saying they're blowing it up. They're saying they already want to get rid of Bradley Beal. They want to get rid, and Durant's going to go to another great team that already has star power, so you can just hang off of that. And so then Devin Booker's going to be the lone guy there once again.
They're saying he wants to go to the Knicks too.
I saw that. Saw that report, but I think he's locked up, right? He can't.
Well,
Doesn't matter.
They just go, I want to go here. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's Phoenix. They're never going to win, but lose 0-4. I mean, Kevin Durant's legacy just continues to take a fucking tail dive.
Tumble.
Also, according to the Queen, you can get a deal on a hooker there.
That's true. That's true.
Where's this?
Phoenix.
Were you not part of that Texas chain? The Queen says never pay full price for a whore, and Phoenix is the place to do it.
Correct. Always haggle, Raymond. Always haggle.
Yep.
Always.
Gotta take his word for it. Nuggets gentlemen sweep LeBron out of the playoffs, but don't worry, says LeBron, because it's just basketball, like he says every time he loses.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Lakers are very open to drafting Bronny if it comes to that.
To make LeBron happy.
There you go.
It's fucking sick. That kid's terrible.
You heard Charles Barkley's comment after?
No.
Please. And I wanted it in his voice, please.
I don't know if I can do a Barkley.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
Now, let me talk. We'll talk about the TV announcers. I just go to a southern fucking Louisiana. Let me talk about the TV announcers. They're gonna blame this on the coaches. These coaches they're fine. They're fine. It's the player. These players suck. The reason why the Lakers and the Suns lost is because the players suck. And none of these cowards have the balls to say it. But I'm going to tell you, these players suck. That's
fucking spot on.
Yeah.
That's spot on.
I can't do it, Barkley. Knicks and Sixers, the next closest 3-2. Sixers owner bought 2,000 tickets to the last Philly game because Embiid bitched about the Knicks crowd that was there. So he went out and purchased 2,000 tickets. Just
what a sad franchise. Who does that?
Sixers are such fucking losers.
Mm-hmm.
And Bucks Pacers, no Giannis, no Dame. Indiana leads that series 3-2.
Yeah, that's the
NBA.
Quick thought on the Mavs series. I hadn't watched the game, but I saw some highlights. Luka looks like a fat cow parading down the court. Like, he is massive.
Yeah,
he's a big boy. He's getting ready for his summer off-season workout, which is nothing, just eating.
He had like a good fourth quarter on defense, and I heard Brian Windhorst talk about why the Dallas is winning because of his defense, and then the internet flooded the airwaves with how shitty he is on defense.
He's terrible. He reminds me of Brian Sutton, just fucking offensive explosion. Fucking use all your fucking will of power on offense, and then defense. Fuck that. Everyone else can beat that.
We have to beep that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I mean, you're a great player by all means. I'm just saying he didn't play defense unless he was pissed off. Then he would play defense.
This is going to pain me. I'm going to angry shit directly off the show for saying this, but I'm just going to say it to show how fair I am.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie's playing great.
Wow.
He looks
wow. Really you doing great. Get the bucket. Start the generator. It's going to be a long night.
I need a break. Headlines with the obvious one.
All right, let me mute you. Let me do this. Thank you, Richard. Our Boston Celtics are the first Eastern Conference team to advance to the second round, beating the Miami Heat 4-1. Game 5 saw Noah Porzingis. Still, the Celtics won 118-84. Derek White and Jaylen Brown both scored 25 and 3 in the victory. Next up, either Cleveland or Orlando. Whose butthole is tighter? Bruins players or Jim Montgomery? After having a 3-1 series lead, the Bruins lost at home 2-1 to the Maple Leafs and now play Game 6 in Toronto as we record. Score 0-0 still. It's gonna be May. Drake May was drafted last Thursday at number 3 to our New England Patriots. Hopefully he doesn't turn into Mac 2.0 and the franchise learn from their mistakes. The Red Sox are good. 18-13 record, good enough for third in the AL East. Currently, the pitching staff leads the MLB with a 2.57 ERA, 6 shutouts, which is best in baseball, and second in WHIP. Imagine if they spent money this offseason, got more star caliber players. And finally, the GOAT made his presence known at Gillette Stadium over the weekend to a sold-out crowd. No, it wasn't Thomas Edward Brady. It was Lionel Messi, who took his Miami squad up to Foxborough and defeated the Revs 4-1. Messi had 2 goals in the victory. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you, Richard.
Was that you muted me? You were afraid I would say something?
Yep.
You know, I had producer role over this show a couple weeks ago, and you can just turn the volume down.
Of who?
Your music. I
Yeah,
assume that's why you stopped it?
No, I tried turning it down a little more. I thought it was too loud.
It was too loud, but then you just stopped it.
Yeah, I can't multitask.
And then
and
then you did a transition, and then no, here we are. So very good. Welcome back to the show, I guess. We're gonna talk a little Patriots.
After I told him I didn't get a boner that night in 8th grade. Just disappointed.
You can
feel the disappointment. Yeah.
That's the second non-boner reference.
Mm.
I didn't think we'd be getting into it, but since you brought it up, I mean, we could discuss it further.
No, it keeps coming up. You know, you had said
his Wang didn't.
It reminds me too. You had said second and whip, which also what? Never mind. I don't want
to.
That
was a whiff. That was a whiff, not a whip.
Whip.
Yeah, but my penis whiffed.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see. That you got a whiff of your femininity. The Wolf Pack. The Wolf Pack is weaponizing Drake Baby. Take your pick on whatever you want to headline this. Here are your Patriots draft picks. Your 2024 New England Patriots draft picks. Ray, got a song for this? No, probably not. Round 1, number 3 overall pick, Mr. Drake May, quarterback out of North Carolina. Round 2, number 37 pick, Jalen Polk, wide receiver, Washington. Round 3, pick number 68, Caden Wallace, offensive tackle, Penn State, right tackle. Round 4, Laden Robinson, guard, Texas A&M. Also round 4, Javon Baker, making people in wheelchairs stand up, wide receiver out of UCF. Number 180 in round 6, the lone defensive player in this draft, Marcellus Dial, cornerback, South Carolina. The second quarterback taken by the New England Patriots, Joe Milton, also in the 6th round out of Tennessee. And to round it off in round 7, Jaheim Bell, tight end out of Florida State. Very good, Raymond. Here's my opinion on this. I think they lifted their floor as a team. They drafted high character guys with solid resumes. Nobody that's really going to blow you out of the water. Obviously, the highest upside there is Drake May, if he meets that expectation. But the rest of the guys, you know, I don't think there's anybody on that board that you go, wow, if he really hits 100, then you know they got a difference maker. But I think that they rose the floor. I think they got decent talent, decent prospects, and did what they were planning to do. I think they had a plan. They established their board and they stuck to it, and they were risk adverse and they kind of stuck to their guns, which from a rookie coaching staff and a inexperienced Wolf Pack and Elliot Wolf and his guys in the front office, it's kind of what you'd expect. Fairly underwhelming. But kind of similar to what Bobby said in the opening take. I think they're gonna go in with a game plan of raising the bar a little bit from the floor and build from there in a multi-year process. They've clearly got multi-year process on the brain. They've been talking about it for months. Your initial thoughts on the draft, Raymond?
Boring. Whatever. Yeah, I hate how people give these guys grades. You can't grade them until probably year 2. After year 2 is over, then you can actually go back to the 2024 draft and say what you got. Right now, it's just a bunch of unknowns. None of these guys have played with each other before, so now you're just going to throw them out there. A lot of people don't want Drake May even starting week 1. They want him sitting a whole year. I think we're all in agreement that, yeah, the kid needs to sit. He needs to learn the playbook. He needs to learn NFL. And after that, then let's see what he's got. But right now, everyone's given these grades of B's, C's, A's, whatever. The only team that flunked is fucking Atlanta when they took Michael Penix Jr. after spending $120 million with Kirk Cousins.
Disagree. First of all, sorry, Bobby. Let me jump down Ray's throat here. I fucking hate this narrative. Every single year. Oh, the grades don't matter. You just spent 4 months talking about these prospects and what they could be and where the best fit is and the best place for this guy to go and best place for that guy to go. And then after it's done, like, it doesn't fucking matter. We're not going to know for 3 years. The grades are on the projections, you fucking dopes. They're on the same shit that you assholes have been talking about for 4 fucking months about these kids that I've been telling you for years. You don't know shit. No kidding. The grades don't matter. None of it matters. None of it matters. You're not going to know anything about these until 3 years. No fucking kidding. The grades, I don't know why people get aggravated by the grades. It's just a reflection on everything you've been talking about for 3 months. That's all it is. No kidding.
People only get aggravated if their team didn't get a good grade.
Yeah. No one ever gets a bad grade. And by the way, the Penix move was perfect by Atlanta. I wish to God the Patriots, they kind of did. They got Joe Milton. They got quarterbacks. Good. They should. More teams
Milton
should
pick
do
is
that.
Dumb.
Oh,
He
I like that
fucking blows. He is
don't Bobby Bukkake this with your opinion, like you think you know. Like you're the guy that should be grading this.
I know
Penix is not gonna be as good as JJ. No one fucking knows. You don't know that.
Listen, the
idea
of
how many
quarterback at 8
fucking
when you
games
have
have
an
you
old
watched?
quarterback makes sense because he's a 36-year-old quarterback that could blow. That just has a blown Achilles. So maybe they went in, looked at his medical, and realized that this guy's fucking shot, and we just gave him money for no reason. So it's like they're already paying the money in. Now they're going to pay the rookie guy, and that's just what they're paying. But it just the only thing that doesn't make sense is Penix is the oldest quarterback. So if he's gonna sit, that's the only part that doesn't make sense.
Hey, who cares? Look, if Cousins is good, then they're good. And who gives a shit if Penix is?
No, I agree.
This is also the other thing. Who
You need to be good at
cares?
quarterback. You have
And
to
if
be
he's
good
on
at
your
quarterback.
bench, if you're good, you're good. If he sucks, then you have another guy. If you don't have him, and he sucks, then you're fucked. Then you're screwed. Right? And in
I
years,
think you have to be good at quarterback. So you should have more than one good quarterback.
If Penix is really good in 2 years, then Cousins' real money is out, or you just trade him, or you trade Penix. Doesn't matter. You can get out from under all of this stuff. But stacking talent at the most important position in North American sports is not dumb. And So what? You would have taken Brock Bowers with the 8th pick?
No.
Who's guaranteeing anybody else is going to be good? This is this goes back to the grades. You have no idea whether these guys are going to make it or not. It's all about playing the odds in the draft, which is why I still think the Patriots should have traded back, because the odds are not in your favor to put all the chips in the 3rd quarterback taken off the board. So Atlanta paid what it takes to get a veteran quarterback, and then they drafted a quarterback for the future. Fucking good move. And when 6 quarterbacks are taking the first 12 picks, it costs the 8th pick to do that. Sorry. Yeah. What? That's just the mark. It's just what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree. It just would have. It's almost like you would draft more of a younger developmental guy than the guy that's played 6 years of college football and is more ready to go now.
What if they look at the younger developmental guys and go, "These guys blow"?
Yeah,
like Bo Nix.
They just thought Penix was the best guy left on the board. So what? He's a year or two older than a couple other guys. So he's not going to. Maybe he doesn't start his first NFL game until he's 27. He's going to play till he's 37.
Exactly. They can bring him out in his wheelchair with Grampy there, 27.
I just don't get caught up in their stuff. If they can play, they can play. If they're good, they're good. You're in a good situation. No one's going to give a shit about the situation. They're good. That's why I hated the Jacoby Myers siren. Well, he'll be a nice mentor for the young kid they draft, and he'll be okay with getting sat. Why the fuck would you want that? Why don't you want a guy that's going to go out there and play well and be good? That's your goal. That's your goal. If your goal is to just set up the red carpet for the next developmental guy, that is insinuating that you know you're going to get it right. And there's no chance you know you're going to get it right. 100%. You have to play the odds. So, that just aggravates. The whole fucking thing aggravated me. Which leads me into the Drake May pick. We reacted to it live on draft night last week. I think the overwhelming sentiment was boo, boring. In hindsight, now that we saw 6 quarterbacks go in the first 12 picks. We know at least a couple of the trade offers the Patriots got.
Offers.
Some pretty bad ones. So the 2 that were reported was Minnesota, which was obviously rumored for a long time. The Patriots give up number 3, obviously. In return, New England would get 11, 23, Minnesota's 2025 first-round pick. But they would also have to pick swap rounds 2 and 3 with Minnesota, which is like, if you just take the pick swaps out, you're borderline a good enough offer. And you add the pick swaps, like, gross. What are you talking about?
They didn't. If those 2 were the only offers, and the Giants' offer was terrible, there was no legitimate offer, so there was not even a consideration.
The Giants' offer was the 6th pick, so moving back 3 spots, and then next year's first-round pick.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I mean, it depends on what you think about the quarterback, and I've just ranted and raved that it's all about the odds, and Drake May has just as good a chance of blowing balls as J.J. McCarthy. So, Ray, can you stop futzing around with your fucking mic?
I'm touching my mic.
Who's touching their mic?
Not touching anything.
Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Bobby's touching his mic.
I'd like an apology, please.
Sorry, Raymond.
Yep.
I still might have considered to pick up an extra draft pick next year from the Giants who are going to blow. Then you got the 6th round pick and you take Penix or JJ. I mean, you just bet, as Bobby put it so eloquently last Thursday, hey, if Drake May is good, that's a great pick.
100%. As simple as dumb as it is, that is the facts. That be the facts.
The facts.
Ray, would you have traded down? Are you second
Drake May
guessing?
is also going to start week 1. Just get ready for it. They're not sitting him. He's going to start week 1. They're not sitting him.
I think conventional wisdom in a team in this situation would say so. However, what I think the Patriots have done well is stick to a plan. And I think their plan is not to let him start in week 1, knowing they don't have a full team around him, particularly at left tackle.
So this is, if they hadn't have drafted Joe Milton if they keep Joe Milton, they're going to keep, he can't be the backup quarterback. So that means that it would be Jacoby, Drake, Joe Milton. So then Drake would theoretically be the backup. If they weren't going to keep him and keep Zappy and then have it be, Big Black Hoyer, Zappy, and then him as the 3rd, then I could see them sitting. But Joe Milton is like a 3rd, 100% developmental quarterback to just sit around and just like have that guy pushing Drake from behind. If they're going to keep those 3 guys, then I just see them actually just playing him. Maybe he sits a month.
Take this and sit on it, because I think you'll enjoy it, Bobby. Zappy's not going anywhere. They're going to keep 4 quarterbacks.
They're not. Stop it. You don't even mean that. They're not going to keep 4 quarterbacks.
Yep.
That would be the dumbest thing in history.
I don't think they keep 4 quarterbacks.
How many quarterbacks were on the roster when Brady was
4?
That was like a decade ago.
Yep, and the quarterback position is twice as important. They'll keep 4 quarterbacks.
And nobody keeps 4. No way. Most teams only keep 2. And now, especially with the practice squad thing.
We'll see. We shall see.
Zappy's out of here. They're already saying they want to trade him.
With the practice squad thing, it's even more of a they'll keep 4 guys around that they can move up and down and move around.
Then if that's the case, that's Rourke and Zappy's gone. They hate that little cunt.
I hate that little cunt
I
too.
think you hate him.
Well, he's fine. He did what he did. He was a 4th-round pick, and he came in and got put in. But he was also, you got Kendrick Bourne saying he's a sneaky one. You can't have that guy sticking around the locker room when you
Especially when
drafted
you drafted Drake, yeah.
number 3
Yeah,
overall.
Drake May is dripping with fucking swag and charisma. Do you see
He's
him
got a
walk
little
in?
Gronk in him. He seems a little retarded.
Yeah, him and his
Ew.
4 big ass brothers
beep that.
and his little girlfriend. I think it plays.
I think it does. I like the family. Him and he's the smallest out of the family. Those 4 massive guys that pounded the shit out of him his whole life. He
Yeah,
must
all
be
of them-
resilient.
It's like all of them were athletes and football players, and like
Yeah.
that's the
One of
story
them
that
plays
he's
professional basketball overseas.
best athlete. At all of them. Yeah, he's dripping with it. The more I listened to him, and the more I saw him days after the draft, the more I did like him. Maybe that was just bias of trying to convince myself that it's all going to be okay. Ray, did you gummy tonight? What's going on with you?
Oh yeah. I'm on a fucking
Stop
journey.
doing that, man.
He also
You're
had
just
to
comatose.
quit out of a Fortnite game right before we started.
Thank you,
so
Bobby.
He was a little salty about that.
Jesus Christ. How about a little commitment? What's your biggest second guess, Raymond?
Drafting that right tackle and trying to make him a project to become the left tackle of this team. I think that's the big one in my book. I didn't like the pick, and we tried to transform guys from left to right to left, and they can't do it. So why would you think you're going to be able to do it with this kid from Penn State?
Caden Wallace is the name. Drafted in the 3rd round. Here's what if you want a little optimism. Lewis Riddick says, quote, "This is my guy. I like a whole lot about this player. I'm going to struggle to say anything bad about him. I thought his tape was as good as his much more heralded left tackle, Olu Fashanu. The guy is another solid pick. Wallace was an all Big Ten selection last season. He played 359 pass blocking snaps, allowing only 1 sack. Penn State offensive line coach Phil Tratween said about Wallace, he's extremely coachable. His teammates love being around him. It has been a true pleasure to coach Caden these last 4 seasons."
I don't trust anything Lewis Riddick says about the Patriots because Robert Kraft has a blackmail sex tape of Lewis Riddick. Everything he ever says about anything the Patriots do, he goes out of his way to be praising them.
I thought that was a Belichick thing because Belichick.
So did I, and then Belichick left.
Well, maybe it
must be Robert Kraft.
It's lingering. It's
Yeah.
I mean, there's lingering with them.
There's lingering Belichick effects going on there. I sent you guys a Instagram thing or whatever about they signed all Belichick's draft picks. They went and brought in old Belichick guys. It's like, but you're telling me Belichick's the problem. Look, Caden Wallace might be an excellent football player. He might be a really great guy and extremely coachable, but there's a reason why you play left tackle versus right tackle, and it's because left tackle's harder and you need to be better. And are you physically gifted enough to play the position? We're going to find out. That is the biggest second guess, though, and it's just because I think they had opportunities to make a move higher into that 3rd round or even into the high into the 2nd round if they really wanted to give up a little bit of capital and go target a left tackle. The kid from BYU is the most common name that comes up. I'm not going to try and pronounce that.
There
you go. And it felt like they either hesitated or didn't have a plan or weren't able to execute a plan, and the board moved too quick on them, caught up on them, and by the time it got to them, they're like, shit, there's this guy left. So welcome to New England. It's kind of what that pick felt like to me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think they just scrambled at the last minute, and they're just going to hope to make this kid a project and succeed with it.
Yeah, it felt like with the trade in the 2nd round. I mean, if you look at the trade, they moved back a couple spots so it was reported that they were trying to move up originally to get Xavier Legette or Keon Coleman. We don't know who, but apparently it was Legette. Those 2 guys go. So then at 34, they trade back. Part of that trade back gets them moved up to pick 110 to take Baker. So in hindsight, it looks like, okay, they moved back to get a guy that they probably would have taken at 34 anyway, moved up, which also got them this other receiver. It just it feels like at 68, the same thing needed to happen. Either move back or move up. It's just like they were in no man's land. They either need to move up 10 picks or move back 10 picks and get something in return for it, because that guy probably would have been there. So for me, it's just that not doing that move in that same scenario, just because where they was in between runs on receivers and tackles.
Yeah, they didn't have as control over the board at that position that they felt like they had in that second round move. Which, you know, I don't mind that move for what was his Jalen what's his name? Jalen who's the wide receiver they took?
Jalen Polk.
Jalen Polk. We don't have to get into him. I'm sure Bobby Bukaki has opinions on him, but it seemed like a heady move. They tried to move up, they didn't get him, so they didn't like the white kid there,
Lad McConkey.
So they moved back, and I don't know if Keon Coleman can play. What I do know is he can't speak. I don't know if you've seen.
I loved it. Yeah, I put the fucking video of that on there on Instagram.
You don't have it on here.
I don't have it. No, sorry.
He belongs on the Simple Minds reading tour.
Wait, which one are you talking? You talking about the kid that was drafted by the Bills?
Where he's talking fucking crawfish and no one can understand a goddamn thing.
That's Xavier Legette from Carolina. Now he's in Carolina now. That's who you're thinking of. He's like, hey, you mean 9 a.m. I was reading.
Oh, is that him? Coleman talked about
Starstruck, how he got $70 jacket. He buys jackets in the summertime for $70.
Right. He had a little swag to his voice, to his cadence in his voice too.
Yeah, he reminded me of Borat when he got fucking King of the Castle when he went to a hotel. Like he was getting free cookies and all this fucking snack spread.
Got that swamp tentacle.
Yeah, I put that video out there on our socials.
That one's great. Yeah, on just decided going to be so play football.
I did. I was like, what the fuck did he say? Yeah.
Pretty good. Anyone got a favorite pick?
No.
Yeah, I mean everybody's favorite pick is Javon Baker just because he seems like he could be a shiny new toy. He also seems mildly special, but he could he seems like a lot of fun.
I don't want to sound like a homer. I think that Polk kid is going to be pretty good.
I think it'll be good.
I think he's going to be a good like NFL receiver. Yeah. Jordy Nelson, like good wide receiver.
I think he's going to be a guy that has a regular stat line of like 6 for 75 and converts 4, third downs for you.
I think the best thing about Jalen Polk is bye-bye Juju. I think is the best thing about that kid.
He's gone. He has replaced him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, Taekwon. They're probably going to keep 6 receivers, and there's probably maybe they find a way to keep him at the end, or bring in somebody else. But pretty much 5 of their receivers are now set, and these two, the 2 rookies, Bourne, Douglas, and Osborne.
Very young roster too for the wide receivers.
They're going to be young.
You got Pop Douglas back.
They're going to play.
There's 7. I just saw today they have 7 players over 30. That's it.
Jesus.
No. Yep. Youth movement. They'll at least, I think, be more entertaining. They'll be fast and
hopefully. That's all I asked for.
I mean, they should be like watching an entirely different team. Like, I mean, the Patriots, the past 2 years have been dog shit to watch, but Belichick, they were still the same Belichick team. I'm sure the defense will even look different. The defense, even though they were competitive, still looked like a Belichick defense. I'm sure they'll have some new wrinkles.
They're going to put all these fast-ass kids running around with their heads cut off from college, and you're going to see Jacoby Brissett trying to throw him the ball. It's going to be – he's going to be like the parachute that guys train with when they're running. They're going to do sprints with Big Black Horror behind him, just trying to keep up. Should be fun.
Drake May is going to beat his ass out like Mac Jones did.
God, I hope not. They're going to get that kid killed. They're going to Sam Darnold him.
He doesn't give a shit. He's Gronk at the quarterback position. That kid, you saw his brothers. That kid can take a hit. You don't think he hasn't been Hulk smashed by those 4 knuckleheads?
If Drake May has Gronk's football IQ and then his just like inability to give a shit about anything else, like he's gonna be great. He's gonna be fantastic. Gronk was a very smart football player, but just numbskull.
Dumb as shit.
Just he's a meathead.
Well, I don't think he's like dumb. I just think he is like the prototypical meathead. Like he just likes like girls fucking in football. Like that's it.
In that order, you think?
Likes to be wild. He just
exactly. He's a wild boy.
He needs that like testosterone fucking woo fucking go. I'll take that as a football player. Or you can do paper bag breathing exercises on the sideline with Mac Jones. Which one do you want?
It's true.
Give me that testosterone.
There you go. Okay, quick break.
I got my balls to my butthole, yeah. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. Fool me once.
Shame on you.
Excellent addition to the show. Balls stuck to my butthole.
Thank you.
God, I really hate when you do gummies and your camera's all blurry. Really starting to get on my nerves.
Why don't you just turn the game on?
It is on. That's why I've been looking at it.
Distracted. He's gummied. He's thinking about all the mistakes he made in Fortnite before he had to come on here.
No, he said that he didn't make it. He said they were cooking, and that's why he was mad that he had to leave.
Oh,
we were cooking. It's fine. Commitments, baby. You know?
Who's your number one go-to on your Fortnite team?
I just play with
Tad.
Tad? Who's Tad?
I don't know. It's probably some fucking 11-year-old that you. Come on, Ray. What's your screen name?
I'll fucking tell you my
6969.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not telling you my fucking screen name.
Come on, Lipton.
You think he's gonna get an account and then hop on and
yeah? What are you anticipating here? Actually, I would not put that past me.
I would not put that past you. Spite
back.
is a fucking hell of a drug for Richard McPhee. He will use it at all
first
times.
Of all, just go get an account and then whatever that was, Limpdick 6969, and just harass that guy.
And just stop everything else in my life and peruse Fortnite until I find fucking.
Hey, Gordon asked Rich, why haven't you been to work in a month? Don't fucking worry about it.
Shut up! I'm trying to get Langevin.
Oh, that'd be fun. All right, real quickly here, touch on the Bruins. So first period just ended in game 6. It's a 0-0 tie. Let me put it bluntly. The Bruins were awful in game 5. They 7 shots combined in the first 2 periods. Somehow they turned it up, got to 28 by the end of the game, which went into overtime. Dominated on the dot, 62% to 38% on faceoffs. They lost. Only created 1 power play, which they have dominated this series. They're 5 for 5 in the power play. Was only able to create 1 penalty to get into that. As I said in the open take, unfortunately very predictable, and they suck you in. I'm not a massive hockey guy, and because I don't live in New England, and Nesson is not easily, you can't get Nesson, so I'm not able to watch a ton of games.
You can't afford Nesson, is what you're saying.
I will try to afford Nesson, the $35 for that stupid product, and they black out games out of market, which like on the internet. How dumb can you get?
You paid for the subscription and they still blacked you out?
Yes, in Maryland. I tried. It usually goes the other way, right? It's like you're local. They want you on the local
Rich
broadcast.
wanted to go to Nesson and just destroy that building.
It was.
I remember how pissed off you were. You're like, "What the fuck?"
Unbelievable.
You got it for the Red Sox too, and then you couldn't watch Red Sox either.
You paid for an app subscription. They're like, "Yeah, sorry."
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're out of market, so you can't watch the game on the internet, which this thing's designed for. It is really baffling. And now the Red Sox look like they're okay, so I'm going to be forced to buy whatever MLB package I have. Anyway, so you they suck you in. By the third period, they start playing a little bit. And then, God, it's like the ghost of Tuukka Rask is licking up on their tight little buttholes. Marchand misses open net. Coyle hits the post. Frederick has a nice little move, shoots it right into the pad of Wall, their goalie, their no-name second-string goalie, who again every year the Bruins knock a goalie out, and then the guy that comes in dominates them for the next 3 games.
He goes for a run.
Yeah, it's just like very, very predictable. So to expect anything less, you'd be asking a lot. However, you are playing a team that is even more predictable in their suckiness and chokiness in the Toronto Maple Leafs, who lose their best player in Austin Matthews. Marner's having a horrible series. Tavares is 100 years old.
What's wrong with Matthews? They're not even fucking saying. They're saying it's an illness and he's
lower
out.
Body is what I heard.
Yeah, but
So
it
like
has to be something
weird
severe
thing.
if he's not going to be in there. The 61 goal scorer of the Toronto Maple Leafs is not going to be playing in crucial games like that.
Yeah, even Toronto hockey players are tough. So, I mean, they're pussies in general, but
yeah, I wonder what it is.
He's
You won't
not-
find out till afterwards, but
Yeah, I'm sure it's something pretty significant for him to sit out. Speaking of pussy hockey players, yet again, God, I wish Bill was on the show. Where? Make me a sign, Ray. Make a T-shirt. Where's a milk carton? Where is David Pasternak? Where is David Pasternak?
He's missing from this playoffs.
And everybody's going to cut. Oh, he's a point-a-game player in the playoffs. Point-a-game player. Point-a-game player. Does everybody watch the game? Does everybody see where those points come from? They're hollow as shit. They're the Marcus Smart of fucking NHL playoff points. Hollow, hollow, hollow. They're nothing. In a game like Game 5, where your team is struggling, you can't get anything rolling, your offense is stagnant to begin with because you have limited talent in your top 6. You are making $11 million a year. You're a 60-goal player a year, and poof, you diss a fucking peer unless you're turning the puck over in the goddamn neutral zone, giving up breakaways. David Pasternak is one of the most frustrating fucking hockey players to watch. And can him or his team learn who he is and stick him on the fucking dot on the opposite side of the ice and just let him rocket one-timers like Ovechkin? Why is he so involved in the rest of this game when he doesn't have the fucking skill set? He's a shooter. That's it. And even that, he's hesitant. Like, fire away, dude. That's your number one goal. That's your number one skill. Fire away. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts watching him. And his running mate, Zaka, is an absolute 0-2. And they've yet to switch up that line. I don't know how many options you really have. Marchand was great. Marchand, game 3 and 4, was dominant. Looked like he took the city of Toronto and buried it in his jockstrap, to be seen later. But he fluffed on that game winner a couple nights ago. Wide open game winner. And same. You remember the breakaway he had last year in Game 5 to end the series?
Put it right in the
Missed
bag.
that too. Very, very eerily similar. So, I'll finish watching this game after we get done with the show. Have a couple more cocktails. Stay down here so Inger doesn't hear me screaming, wake the kids. Because I'm sure we'll get to that point. I'll finish on a high here. I like the Laurie kid, Laurie.
Yeah,
rookie defenseman.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good.
Big,
he needs to
fat.
but he needs to put some weight on. I think
He's got the frame to do it.
he does, but he just looks so small out there.
He's like 21 or something.
I know. That's what I'm saying, though. He just needs to put either get bigger pads or put some muscle on in the offseason.
I didn't realize how big he was. He's a pretty big kid. I thought he was smaller because, he's not like massive, but he's not like his offensive game was talked up so much that I was expecting a Grizzly type of player who, by the way, God, again, another guy, get him off the ice. He's bigger than I thought. And they paired him with McAvoy. Here's another thing to learn, Bruins. Give McAvoy a guy with speed, because when anybody can play, if anybody can keep up with McAvoy, the dude becomes a difference maker. It's when he has a anchor like Lindholm on his left that he has to kind of fight with to move the puck up the ice. He starts to creep back into the zone and is not as much an impact on the offensive side. When you get a guy that can skate with them and then hold their own in their own zone as well, McAvoy becomes a force. So hopefully this low right kid can develop and open up McAvoy a little bit. And then Swayman, last point, continues to be great. 942 save percentage, 118 saves in the series, 1.49 goals against. He's got their number. Some some stand on your head moments, and what can you say? He's been really good.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I mean, even if they get this round, they're going to get fucking blown out by the next team anyway. Bobby, hockey thoughts?
Too. When you said Ghost of Tukarask, I laughed because it rhymes with Ghost of Your Mother's Ass. And in the email, you said it was 5 minutes. You went way over.
Okay, sorry. We'll be right back with This or That with Chief Bobby. We are way over, so we're gonna have to cook a little bit here.
Is that what your alarm? Is that what your alarm was for?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
9 o'clock. This time.
Buzzer.
All right.
It's
Speaking
like,
of cooking,
around the horn.
fish tacos or regular tacos?
Fish.
Regular.
Fish tacos. A good fish taco is better.
Yep.
A bad fish taco is bad.
I'll bring a bag of tortillas to your mother's
But
house.
regular tacos are never bad.
So you're just going for consistency?
Yes, sir.
All right, Elliot Wolf. American-made cars or foreign-made cars?
American.
Yeah, America.
Fuck yeah.
Give me the Jappies. Go on Family Feud or Price is Right?
Price is Right.
Family Feud? What are you, crazy? I want
Price
to
is
meet
Right,
Steve
man.
Harvey.
Oh wow.
I don't have any opinions on daily talk shows except for when Grant sends us Steve Harvey clips from
Grant loves
Family
Steve
Feud.
Harvey.
Yeah, he very much does loving Steve Harvey. So I'll go Family Feud.
All right, I take my answer back. I'm going Family Feud just because of Grant.
Just for Grant.
We have to deal with skinny Drew. What's his name?
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey.
Yeah.
He's not. If a guy gets famous and he's as fat as Drew Carey, and then he loses as much weight, he shouldn't allowed to still be famous. Like he's a
Why?
different.
Jonah Hill's done that. Jonah Hill's done that like
Yeah, but he
twice
goes
now.
back and forth, and also
So you want
fine.
so
He
so
can't
if
be
Drew
famous
Carey
either.
put
Get him out of here.
so if Drew Carey put on weight, you'd be happy with it?
Yeah, comedians
Okay.
should kind of be ugly or fat. You shouldn't be handsome and funny.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Is that what
No.
Dane Cook's downfall was then?
Okay, Ray. Open up the door a little bit. A little
He's
bit
just
more
a
there,
handsome
Ray.
man. He's a handsome
yeah?
man, I'm saying, yeah.
Is he?
I think Dane Cook's a handsome man, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just
That's
saying.
very nice.
Thank you. I'm trying to be
Really
nice. Thanks, guys.
Would you rather be the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy?
Tooth Fairy.
Rather be.
Yeah,
Like,
you have
just
to be. You
like-
have to fulfill those duties.
Tooth Fairy.
Oh, I'd rather be the Easter Bunny. You work once a year. The rest of the
Yeah.
time, I can go fuck off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No.
A
Okay.
Tooth
I
Fairy.
didn't-
There's literally kids losing teeth. You work every night, Ray. You just signed up for an every night shift.
Do you think you have what kind of afterlife consequences do you have the Easter Bunny for virtue signaling Jesus like that though? You know?
Yeah, you stole his day.
You stole his day.
Santa
Pretty
stole his
harsh.
fucking his birth, and then
We didn't
fucking the Easter
steal
Bunny
his
steals his
day.
death.
We found a way to bring the children in to learn more about his day.
I don't think I've talked about my kids anything about Jesus on Easter Sunday. It's
And
always
you'll
about
burn in
the
hell
Easter Bunny.
for it.
Yeah,
You will
when
burn
you talk to kids about
in
Jesus,
hell.
right?
What?
When you tell him how Jewy he was? Do you think
That man was bad?
he was a Jew? Now that we're saying this out loud, I think we get a little grift here going on. I think the Easter Bunny packs all these kids with fucking chocolate, and then Tooth Fairy's sitting in the wings, just okay, give me those teeth. With a shitty little
Oh,
return.
interesting point.
And-
Wow.
yeah.
Nice connection there.
Thank you.
Interesting.
We can flesh that out later.
All right. Here's another more would you rather style here. Would you rather be able to get the all-time stats on everything you've ever done or the all-time stats on whatever everybody else has ever done?
Everybody else, spite.
Oh yeah, everyone else.
Yeah.
And I can actually see
wouldn't
how
you
many
want to know
dudes your
what, like,
mom's
the
actually
all-time
banged.
amount? Like it's like you're sitting there, you're like, you're just like, and that's the 5,000th time you've beaten off. Yes. Wouldn't you want to know that?
I would want to know if I had the high score. That's why I kind of want to see what everyone else.
But then you could also be like, how many women have you slept with? Oh, yep, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, wow. Ray, you've had 6 dicks in your butt? That's a lot. That's
Thank
a
you.
lot.
World record.
At once.
Gaping.
That was a homosexual joke, but we commend that here.
Nothing homosexual about that. You didn't. Nobody said it was bad.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
funny.
or if it was or if there was consent.
We'll never know. 'cause we
We'll
don't
never
have the stats.
Yeah, we'll never know. Potato salad or pasta salad?
You've asked this before.
I don't recall.
Pasta salad.
I like potato salad.
Yeah,
Love
give me the
that.
potato salad.
Yeah.
That's
Have
a
a
real
personal
fat
chef
boy
or an
answer,
in-house
Bobby.
nanny.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
Have a personal chef or an in-house nanny.
Nanny.
Yeah.
It
I
cleans the
already
house.
have an in-house nanny. Give me the chef.
Okay.
Okay. Brag over here. Money back.
Yeah. Humble brag money bags.
No cell phone or no beer. No, it's because my mother lives with me. No money bags.
No cell phone or no money bags.
No cell phone or no beer.
Oh, no beer.
Oh.
Psh, no cell phone.
No cell phone.
Yeah, no cell phone. That's like a gift. I don't want the cell phone. Give.
We can tell, Vine. We can tell.
Yeah, we can tell when you never respond to anything we fucking say to you on it.
Yeah, you're not part of a group.
I
That's so
can't.
sad.
I can't possibly be tied down to the phone all the time. I have to walk away from it. Done with it.
Fine. Give me the beer.
Yep. All right. And this is in response to Bill's question before about would you rather travel in the future or go in the past? Would you rather travel back in time 20 years and bang Ray's mom, or travel in the future 20 years and bang her in the Matrix?
Ooh. Ooh, so it's a little simulation. No,
Yeah.
I've answered this in the chat.
Yeah, maybe you should look at the fucking
if you're
chat.
part of this,
Vine.
Bobby.
I
It
didn't look
was-
at the chat.
Chronically, I thought about this. I think America, starting in like 1980 to 2000, 2001, is probably the greatest time in the history of the world.
Yeah.
There's probably not much better you can come up with in terms of like creature comforts, possibilities, like freewheeling. Like there was no like stress was very low. Everything was pretty awesome.
Nobody judged you for being out of shape.
Well, that and
Well,
like
and no one was out of shape because Coke had Coca-Cola in it.
you weren't
People
trial
are
and
fat as
trial for
fuck.
being a witch. There were a lot less fucking just murders.
Everyone was happy, is what you're trying to say.
Most people were happy. You know, I mean, you know, the blacks and such still didn't have it too great, but they gotta wait for Obama to like. They can't go back too
You can't
far.
get 08
Like,
would be
as
their
white
year.
people, if you're talking time machines and going back in history, we got a lot of options. You know, people of color, you're pretty much stuck from 2008 moving forward. You don't really want to go back too far. You're kind of fucked, no matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of fucked. People didn't like you.
Answer
know?
the fucking question.
Oh, back. I'm going back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna come through that wormhole with my fucking boner right out, and then that's what I'm doing.
I'm gonna high five your dad. What's up, Big Ray? Look out.
Yeah.
Me, bitch.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Ray, answer the question, please.
Matrix.
Good call.
You sick fuck.
Oh shit. Okay, we've gone late. We'll be right back with a very quick simplest minds of the week.
Oh, back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
But I will say, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. Bit of a day walker myself.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as stupid does.
Simplest minds of the week. By the way, that statistics on yourself or everybody else, that's a no-brainer. Everybody else. I mean, think of the people. You get
I would just
everybody.
be so interested to know what my all-time stats are.
That's because you're narcissistic and
yeah.
conceited.
Well, that's obvious.
I just think of the people you could you learn about. You know,
Manipulate.
Yeah, you could have a lot of manipulation.
A lot of
opportunities.
dirt. A lot of dirt. You could
A lot
fucking.
of dirt.
Fuck yeah.
A lot of dirt. Again, my head keeps going to projectiles and buttholes, but I think that number would be higher than you think, but I could be wrong.
For who? You?
Well, I know what my number is. It's going to be tough to beat. Simplest minds of the week. Did you put this video in here, Ray?
I put both of them on there for you.
Time traveling shed boy,
You ready?
please.
All right.
The
here it
dude's
is.
coming onto my property to what looks like rob my house, but it actually turns out he is a time traveler. And let me show you that. I literally can't even make this up. Like if I wanted to make this up, it blows my mind. This just happened yesterday. So as you can see, he's wandering around my backyard. I don't know what he's trying to do. Now he's like thinking like where to go, and he actually ends up going into my shed. So you can see he opens it, goes into the shed. So I'm fast forwarding the time so you can see there's no movement. He never leaves the shed. And I'm talking on the camera. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you in my shed? Never answers. He never leaves the shed. I literally was watching it the whole time. So I end up calling the police. You could see in the last one, the police coming through the front yard. And then here's the police coming into the backyard. And you can see they literally go inside. They go inside and I'm talking to them. Then they go inside again. Like they're inside there. And they come out and he's not there. And like I've been watching this backdoor camera the whole entire time, and he never left. I really watched the camera the whole time. He never left. Police didn't see him in there, and like it blows my mind. Like I don't know if there's a tunnel in my shed in the backyard. I don't know if he teleported. I don't know where this guy went or why he went in that shed. Let me know what you think, because I'm like perplexed, flabbergasted.
There's another follow-up video I don't have, but basically a day later, a guy comes out of that shed older and looks just like that guy, like an older version.
Yeah, without the second video, it's less compelling because you're just like, well, the guy just came out of the shed. But then the guy that walks out, and then they show him a side by side that's like an older guy that looks very similar to the younger guy that went in the shed. And if you want to get it, very spirit walk of truth with Chief Bobby, things going on here, conspiracy theory, simulation theory, multi-dimension, whichever way you want to walk down that, you certainly could. The reason it falls under simplest minds of the week is I don't trust anybody with a mesh tank top and glasses like that that's giving me fucking time traveling videos on the internet.
He doesn't sound that excited. He's like, oh, there was just like a time traveler in my backyard. Like he's like, what? I think he'd be a little bit more jazzed
it's like
up
he's
about it.
annoyed by it. He's like, oh, do we really have to deal with this today? I was gonna go to fucking Panera Bread and get a soup bowl. This guy sucks. Murray Brothers. This is bad. Have you been following this saga?
Yep.
Michael Porter. Porter Brothers. I put Murray Brothers. That's
yeah.
Michael Porter Jr. Obviously plays for Denver. The Denver Nuggets, NBA player. He had a brother in the NBA, and then apparently he has two other brothers. Well, in basically the same week or a number of weeks, the three of those brothers were all arrested or kicked out of or about to be arrested. So Jonte Porter, banned from the NBA for life for that very now famous gambling scheme, betting the unders on a 12th player off the bench, just so brazenly betting his unders. He's banned from the NBA, and is definitely charges are coming. I mean,
of course, he's going to jail.
Probably going to jail. Another brother, Coben Porter, sentenced to 6 years in jail for vehicular manslaughter this past week. And then the youngest brother, Jevin Porter, arrested for DUI, which is basically, no big deal compared to his other brothers.
Two brothers.
And Michael Porter Jr. had a bunch of shit coming out of college too. He had off-court issues and stuff. So, these
the simplest one of the week should be the parents. Okay, those scumbags that raised those morons.
Yeah, no, that's a good call there. There's no news on the Porters. Where are they? And then, Ray, you put something in the email. Man steals ambulance in West Virginia. It was just a screen.
West Virginia's finest right there. Just steal. I guess ambulance was called to a scene, and they were helping out the EMTs, and this guy in West Virginia just fucking got in and said, "See ya." Stole.
But then he took it for a 5-foot joyride and bounced.
I think that was like they sped it up afterwards, and then they just showed him like leaving and like putting it in neutral, just peacing out.
The panic on his face was very funny.
Yeah, just like, oh shit, I'm doing this. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, into the woods of West Virginia, never to be seen again.
Nope.
And then lastly here, more of a PSA from the Simple Minds boys. Simply, shh. If you work for Boeing, you do not want to be speaking out against this company. Another whistleblower found dead, one Joshua Dean, who raised concerns about Boeing jets, dies at 45. Go look at the story if you want to, but this
what was the cause of death?
Filming out social media, death fall.
Suicide.
So that Dean had quickly fallen into a critical condition after being diagnosed with MRSA bacterial infection. So he got MRSA.
He got MRSA.
Yeah, they Putined him with the
Interesting. Wow.
quickly fallen into critical condition after being diagnosed with MRSA bacterial infection.
Interesting.
That's the first guy that they offed committed suicide with 2 shots in the back of his head.
Yeah.
So
This is very easy to do.
yeah, they're up in their game.
They are.
Don't just
Yeah. I think we should beep this whole fucking segment right here.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. To be fair, I flew last week and was on a Boeing jet. Very enjoyable experience. Not even a bump. So, job well done, Boeing.
Nice job, Boeing.
There you go. Good job. This has been the Semi Sports Show. Friday Rewind, May 3rd, Thursday night, May 2nd. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.